Hello, and welcome to episode 52 of the Knit Sip Happy podcast. My name is Nancy, and I'm coming to you from the east coast of Canada, just outside of Moncton, New Brunswick. Hello, today, all transparency here. This is Saturday, June 21st. I will be releasing this on Sunday, June 22nd for a couple of reasons. We'll talk about that in a minute. But welcome. Thanks for being here if you've been here before. We've made a lot of new friends over the last couple of weeks, lots of new followers and subscribers. Thank you for giving me a try. And if you've come back, welcome back. Today is going to be the usual chit chat about crafts, a little lifey stuff, the Atlantic Yarn Fibre Festival that happened, was it last weekend? Last weekend. Time is a bit of a blur. As you can see, we're outside. The weather is beautiful. We are in the mid-20s today. It is just about 6 o'clock, I do believe, or a little after 6 p.m. on Saturday. Before I go off into a tangent, I'll put a screen here. Everywhere you can find me online, I am Knit Sip Happy everywhere. So you can reach out to me through the comments below or through any of those links. Most active on Instagram, I would say. Okay, my notes have already blown over. The birds were going crazy out here about 20 minutes ago, and I thought we were going to have a very noisy podcast. And still hear some noises from the woods, but they're not nearly as chatty as they were. All right. There will be chapters down below. If there's any section that you want to skip, feel free to do that. Everything will be linked below in the notes, in the show notes, all my Ravelry project pages, and everybody that I talk about. If I miss anything, just give me a little nudge and I will get that fixed. Whew. So it's been a day. It's a Saturday, which means it was a work day. And work was a little crazy. No, it wasn't crazy busy. It was just, it's been the end of a long week. Both Brad and I had a few issues today. It's the only day of the week that we work together normally. We worked together Thursday and Friday this week because my lovely Amanda, who I know is watching, is on vacation. What I'm drinking, by the way, a little rosé action in there. Sip happens. On my little screen, the lighting is showing really bad. On my tester, it looked good. So I'm going to hope that when I edit this, that the lighting is okay. We've got the lawn is backlit and the sun is setting over that way. All right. What I'm wearing, no knitting whatsoever. I am wearing a dress. After work today, we went out for a bit of a drive and then ended up at a little English pub that we'd never been to before, out in the town of Dorchester, almost to Sackville, New Brunswick. So yeah, that was really nice. Brad enjoyed some draft beers. They had a TARDIS on site, and my blue dress matched the blue of the TARDIS pretty perfectly. So I was a designated driver because Brad wanted to try some of the draft beers, which was just fine, but I'm indulging in a little rosé at the moment. Okay, we had a giftaway on episode 51. I'm going to announce that a little later because we're going to talk about another giftaway, because today when you're seeing this, or today that I release it, June 22nd, Sunday, June 22nd, is the third Podiversary. I recorded my first or uploaded my first podcast on June 22nd in 2022. So I thought that deserved another giftaway. So we'll do that later on. And as I said, it'll be marked in the chapters. What we're going to do first is talk FOs. We're going to go into whips, some dream knitting, summer plans, a little bit of spinning, small, petite design chat section, and then into some acquisitions and chat about the Fibre Festival that happened on Sunday, June 15th. So let's get into some knitting, shall we? So, FOs. Let's start with a pair of socks. I've shown you these once or twice before. These are the Booktouche Boardwalk socks by me. It's a design by me. These are a gift sock. I used Knit Picks Felici in the colorway. Felici has limited release, so it is Friendly Skies. So whether you'd be able to find this on a D-stash if you were interested, but Felicia limited edition runs on the self-striping. So I have 2. They have not been blocked yet. I haven't had time, but these will get blocked and then get tucked away for the gift pile. So this pattern is worked cuff down. It's got a great slip stitch kind of rib detail, and then some purl bump ridges to mimic the boardwalk at Bouctouche. I'll put a picture in here. Editing me is going to love all these. I'm going to put it in here. So that is the first FO. As I said, I've showed you those a couple of times before, so I won't dwell on them too long. The next FO I hadn't even started as a whip last time you were here, but I was knitting, I told you I was going to knit the Odyssey shawl by Joji Locatelli as a sample for Deborah at the Yarn Indulgences to show off her new, one of her new bases that launched at Atlantic Yarn Fibre Festival. It is Lux Lin DK, 231 yards, 100 grams, 80% non-superwash merino wool, 20% linen. So I used 3 colors, the pink, the blue, and the gray. And this is the yarn that I had left. So this yarn is nice and plump. It could very easily be knit at a worsted gauge. I knit mine on 5mm needles. Probably could have done a 5.5, but the 5 worked out just fine. And I got it finished. So this is going to be kind of hard to show, but what I will do, really fun lace textures and a little picot bind off. It's been a little crumpled up this week waiting to record. I'm going to put in a little bit of video with me. I gravity blocked it because I ran out of time. When did I finish this? I think I might have only finished it on Friday morning. Blocked it. No, I finished it Friday night. Blocked it Saturday during the day while I was at work. Soaked it in the morning and then hung it, pegged it out and hung it, and it dried while I was at work last Saturday, and then it went to the festival on Sunday morning. So lovely knit. I was a bit of a twit. I got to the last repeat and I think I was starting to feel my brain just wasn't with me. To make this hole, it very specifically, great instructions. It's a Joji Locatelli pattern, so you know it's going to be great, but there's these big holes. You have to do a specific stitch to do. And I probably did that pattern row 4 or 5 times and then ripped it because nothing lined up after that. And I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. So I'm like, I've done this twice before. I know what I'm doing. And then, which is why I didn't get done until Friday night, because the light went on Friday afternoon after I'd knit it, ripped it. Spoiler alert, I knit at work on Friday afternoon. It was a quiet afternoon at work, and I was feeling the stress on this shawl to get it finished. And I kept screwing it up. So I tried to fudge it because I thought I must have, anyway, I tried to fudge it. That didn't work. I ripped it back. I tried it again. And then I decided to go to the glossary and actually read how to do the make whole stitch again. And I was doing it completely wrong. Oh, I was so mad at myself, the amount of time I wasted knitting and ripping and knitting and ripping. Like I said, I probably did it 4 or 5 times. But I got it done. And it didn't beat me. I figured it out. My brain came to life and it figured it out. So it's done. I borrowed it from Deborah to be able to show you, and now this will go back to her to use as sample in the booth going forward. Check. Done. Should have been much easier than I made it. All right, so that's number 2. So number 3, we're got two finished garments. So I'm going to the first one I'm going to show you is one you've seen before. Well, you've seen both of them before. Let me try that again. You've seen both of them before. I'm just going to put it on a hanger. This is a test knit for Samantha Guerin called the Summer Sessions Tank. I'll put a picture in here that she has shared on social media. She's asked that we don't show model pictures until the release date. I have pictures of Samantha. My daughter Sam is who I knit this for. I have pictures of Sam in this, but I'm not going to show them until the pattern is released. So the test deadline is June 30th, so I would assume it'll be out sometime in early July. I forgot to double check before I hit record on my phone. So I finished it. It's amazing. She wore it. If you were at the Yarn Festival last Sunday, then you will have seen her. She wore it all day. She was running the front desk for us, the cash desk. So I've just put it on a hanger. So I've got this glorious V-neck with lace panels running all the way down the front. So I knit the size 2 or 3. I'll confirm that on the screen. Sam took this home last weekend and she's worn it this week. I just got it back from her to be able to show you guys. So this has been blocked and worn. The back is plain. If it's not showing up well on the screen, I will take a picture. Yeah, she really likes it, loves the fit. I lengthened the body to her required 13 inches from armpit to ribbing. She wants to be able to tuck it into high-waisted jeans or shorts. So yeah, I can see her being able to layer this for work with a blouse or a long sleeve t-shirt. I think I'm going to knit one as well, a more woolly one for the same thing, that I'd like to be able to wear it with a blouse or a shirt, long sleeve shirt of some sort underneath it for fall and winter. So yeah, it's lovely. Really, really happy with this. So the yarn I used is, I didn't bring that project bag out. It is Yarn Indulgence's Silk and Linen Sport Weight in the colorway Cloud Veil. I started off with 230 grams and I ended up with 58 grams left. That math escapes me. I'll put it on the screen of the amount of yarn that I used for this. So I still had quite a bit left to knit the size 2 or 3. Can't remember. It'll have been on the screen. And yeah, I will knit this again. I really enjoyed the knit. It was very fast to do. And the finished item is fantastic and looks great on her. You'll have to take my word for it, but I will let you know when the pattern comes out, and I will share pictures of Sam in it when I'm allowed. Okay, what else should I tell you from that one? Oh yeah, I didn't show the back seam, I guess. So it's a pretty typical top-down construction. You start at the back and work up the back section, and then you pick up and knit the fronts down separately until you join for the V-neck. So as I said, it's pretty standard. You come back afterwards and pick up the ribbing around the neck and the ribbing around the sleeve. What I really like with this is you can see that the front comes in a little more than the back, so it gives a really nice shape around, around the armhole, around the front of the body, and around the back it just gives a bit more coverage. It's not a huge amount of difference, but it is quite easy to see that we've got, ribbing here, and you can see the back ribbing. So, all right. Sam will get that back next weekend. They're driving through again. Sam and Rob are on vacation this week, so they're going to be back and forth a few times to see friends in Nova Scotia and do other things. So she's going to stop back next weekend to pick up the vest, the Summer Sessions tank, and also her Emily tee. I knit on this a lot this week. So the Yarn Festival I worked Saturday, the Yarn Festival was Sunday. Monday was a busy, just life adminning day, and then I was back to work on Tuesday. and I just felt a bit overwhelmed and tired, so I was looking for simple projects to knit on this week. So that's why the Bucktooth Boardwalk sock got finished, and I finished the Amelie tee. So again, if this doesn't show up well, I will put in some video footage of it with a flat lay. So this is a striped tee pattern by Petite Knits. I have changed the stripe distribution, and my distribution was 10 rounds of the main color and 2 rounds of the contrast color. I knit this in Sadness Garn Tin Lena in 2 different colors. So the blue gray is 7521 and the natural is 1015. So this is a cotton viscose linen blend, 220 meters for 50 grams, excuse me. So it's a very fine, lightweight 28 stitch gauge on 2.75 millimeter needles to give us a tighter fabric. I had knit Sam the Surrey shirt last year, I believe on 3 millimeter needles, and she was finding the fabric a little bit too loose. That she felt she had to wear something underneath it. The goal of this was that she could just wear this with a bra and wouldn't need to wear a tank top or a vest top underneath. So I still have quite a bit of yarn. Oh, well, quite a bit. I have pretty much a full ball of the blue and cream. So I've got ball bands in here. The 1015 natural, I had a part ball that had 30 grams left from the Surrey shirt. So I used 3 full balls of the main color and maybe 8 or 9 grams out of this last ball. I had 4 balls plus the spare, which I ended up not needing at all. So it is knit top down. Same thing, you're casting on at the back, working the raglan, and then picking up across the front to get this really pretty scoop neck. I have woven in my ends, but I haven't trimmed them yet. I wanted to make sure Sam was happy. She stopped by today and had a try on. I didn't take any pictures. I will get modeled pictures of her in this afterwards. It has rolled edging on the neck, the sleeves, and the hem. It's a raglan. You can see the raglan increases running down the front and the back, along the shoulders. Again, I did 13 inches from underarm to hem. It might actually have been a little bit more. I was concerned it looked very narrow when I was knitting the body. So I knew I was going to have to block it this way more. So I wanted to give myself a little more length to offset that. So I think I knit it closer to 14 inches. And then when I blocked it, I pulled it out and I got it to about 13.25 for the length. And Sam's happy. Length is good. What I do need to change is the rolled edging on the sleeve. So the pattern tells you for these rolled edges to bind off tightly. So I did that for the neck, which was great because we didn't want it to stretch out. I did it for the bottom. I also did it for the sleeves. What that has done has made this sleeve a little too narrow. So what I'm going to do this week is pull out this bind off and just pick it up with a larger needle and bind off again with regular tension on a larger needle, and that should allow me just to spray block this just a little bit wider for her. But overall, she was thrilled and can't wait to drive through again next weekend so she can pick it up and take it home and wear it this summer. So 2 finished garments this week, plus a huge shawl. I don't feel like I've had that much knitting time, but yeah, where I've been working the full time. Brad has been doing the cooking and taking care of most of the household chores. He did groceries, so I was able to kind of check out a little bit and regroup, which I needed. It was great, don't get me wrong. The festival was amazing, but it was a level of peopling which I need a little recovery for, and I just didn't get the recovery time between the festival and having to go back to work. You get me, right? I know you do. So let's move on to whips. Oh, it's so nice out here today. You hear the birds. So happy to be able to be out here and hanging out with you in the screen room. All right, whips. I've got a couple of active ones I have been working on, and then I've got some more hibernating ones that I've pulled out. I have a rather large basket that sits beside where I knit in my living room, and there were some projects in there I haven't laid my hands on in quite a while, so I have pulled them out because they need to be addressed. I have to, yeah, there's a decision that has to be made. All right, that's done, that's done. All right, what's been getting the most work? After I finished the Emily tea, I only brought out one blocker, and this one's not big enough, but I'm going to do it anyway. I've been working on Rob's Christmas socks. Don't know if I had one finished last time I was here or not. Yeah. His, this is my smallest sock blocker, so it doesn't really fit, and it's not doing it any justice. This is kind of a self-drafted toe-up pattern. I haven't, yeah, this isn't something I'm going to write up. This is just something I was playing with. It's got this kind of fun grid pattern with the stripes that I'm creating. So I'm using 2 Knit Picks yarns, Stroll Tweed in Lost Lake Heather and Indigo Heather for the contrast. These are 50-gram balls. They were both, I did Brad a hat in this one. So this was, I had 64 grams, I do believe. So I had a full ball and a part ball of this one. And this one I had used for toes, heels, and cuffs on a pair of Rob socks before. So it was also a part ball. So I'm looking to start getting rid of some of these part balls that are they're not scraps. Anything over 30 grams or 25 grams is not a scrap anymore. That's a project in waiting. That's a project in waiting. So I finished the one sock. I did this toe up because I think maybe I finally learned on the yarn chicken front, when I'm working with these smaller quantities of yarn, I need to knit toe up to make sure I have enough yarn and I don't run out, because that's happened a few times. So toe up with the contrast, and then working with both colors, striping with this grid pattern, the German short row heel turn, gusset increases along here, and then you do the German heel turn and create the slip stitch heel flap and decrease the gusset stitches on this line here. Worked up the leg. I decided just to leave it with the stripes. I can't see the back that way. I decided just to leave it the stripes on the back instead of continuing the grid pattern. I don't think the math would have worked out. It's a 5+1 stitch. It's a 6+1 stitch repeat. So it wouldn't have fit. I do Rob's socks 68 stitches. His foot's too skinny for a 72, and it's not wide. A 64 isn't wide enough. So I have one sock finished, and I was working on this today when we were out at the pub. We were sitting in the pub garden, so I have worked up the foot and turned the heel and done the heel flap, and I'm just starting to work up the leg. So I did quite a bit on this week as well. Again, just something quite brainless that I could just do for an hour before work or whenever I had the time. Yeah, really been enjoying that. I said I'm not going to write it up. I'm sure there's something out there already with that, but it's just something that I kind of made up. The other thing that I think I put one repeat on maybe is the dune grass socks I've had on the needles for quite a while. That's not them. That is also not them. I brought the wrong, that's definitely not the right bag. Oh, there it is. It has had not much love, which is why I've forgotten what bag it's in. So I have shown you this before. I had a finished object before of this. This is another toe up pattern. Like I said, I'm having a real toe up moment. I'm loving the construction, and I think the heel almost fits better toe up for me than cuff down. Don't get me wrong, I'm never going to stop doing cuff down because I do like doing that as well, but toe up. So dune grass, this is the finished one that you'd already seen, and I think I maybe did a repeat on this since I've seen you last. Once I get Rob's sock finished, this will be the one that, hit myself with the needle, this will be the one that gets the most love next and get it finished. They've been on the needles for quite a while. I'm not even sure how long. I'll put it on the screen. Ravelry will tell me this, but I went onto my Ravelry and I only have 3 whips outstanding, which is very low for me. So I'm ready for some new cast-ons. I just haven't had, again, the brain power to get into my yarn room, which is an absolute tip. To figure out what I want to cast on. We'll talk about dream knitting and stuff in a little bit. Hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself. The last long-term whip that I have got to deal with is back in episode... oh dear. Episode 40 something? Looks like episode 48 was the last time I worked on this. Oh, yeah, episode 48. Because episode 49 I said I still didn't have a decision. My Musselburgh hat. I asked for your opinions on episode 48. And then I got busy and distracted and moved on. Because I think I probably knit the beige side too long and I don't have enough of the green. This is all of the yarn that I have left of both. So I'm still uncertain as to how I'm handling it. I think, yeah, I need to make a decision on this because it would be nice to have another one on the needles just for that brainless, can't think about it knitting. You know, I had lots of great suggestions, you know, find another green that's similar, stripe these 2. I still don't think I'd have enough even to stripe if I striped these 2 to get to where I need to be to start the decreases and start using less yarn. I'm short about 2.5 inches. So there's no way this is going to do it. So I said at that point, I thought I was just going to rip out all the green. And I'm still tempted to do that. That doesn't faze me. That doesn't bother me at all. And find another color that would be amazing with this beige, sandy color. And then just do a pair of shorties in this great green, which, again, wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. I might be talking myself into that. So, yeah, I might do that tonight. I'll either finish Rob's socks tonight, or I'm going to rip this out and take the green and cast on a new pair of socks. Because I really like it. It's very pretty. Rose Hill Yarns is the green. Yes. Rose Hill Yarns from Alberta in Canada. And it was it says on the front Yarn Club, Winter Wonderland. And I can't remember if I got this off of a D-stash or if I bought it at the first or the second Knit City Montreal when I saw them. I don't remember. And the lovely tonally beige color is from Cami Jo Knit. And the colorway is Sand Viper. So I cast on the adult medium for this. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rip out the green. I know you think I'm crazy, but I will enjoy knitting that green up into something else with some lovely contrast. So it's going to be another pair of toe-up socks because that way I don't have to worry about running out of yarn. Rub socks, dune grass, lingering musselburgh. Lingering musselburgh is going to be the new name for this on Ravelry. I'm going to have to change it. I think it's just a no-name musselburgh, but I have to change it to a lingering musselburgh because I talked to you about it in April and I cast it on January, February probably. It might have been earlier. Did I take it to Wicked in December? Stop thinking about that because I'm going to be wrong. Whatever the answer is, it's not going to be right. So the other thing that I have picked up, again, just looking for something different to do with my hands this week, is knitted knockers. I said that I was going to knit 2 a month for the year to be able to donate, and I am behind because I haven't done any for a couple months because it's been super busy with designs and life and all of that. So I'm working with Lion brand Kobu. I had bought 3 or 4 different colors when I was in Ontario last year for Knit City Toronto. This beige, it's really interesting actually. This beige one and this new kind of really it's gray, but it's got a definite purple tinge to it. They feel like different yarns. This beige is so slick and slippery on my needles, and this one feels more like cotton. But they're exactly the same base. It's 51% cotton and 49% rayon. I knit these on double pointed needles because it's the easiest way to do it. I knit them from the nipple backwards. So I do the no nipple version. You can do a version that has a bit of an I-cord to make the nipply bump. But I did that the first couple and I just found my nipples were a little, I just didn't like the look of them. So I decided to switch to the no nipple version, and it looks great. So you're increasing out in this kind of swirly motion. And then you do 2 purl rows to make the turn, basically, to fold the fabric. And then you start decreasing on the back. Leave the opening there for them to be stuffed. So I mail them off like this to be stuffed as required. So I have done 2. I'd like to do a couple more this month and kind of make up for it and do 4 maybe in July as well, just to catch up and then have a quick count and see where I'm at. But if I could do 4 this month, 4 next month, and then just get back to doing 2 at least, I'd be happy with that. So this is just an ongoing, lives in my basket with all of my other whips. And then, but it does kind of sink to the bottom because I don't work on them as often. And sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind. So it's come back up. I'm working on them and, reacquainting myself with the pattern again. It's not difficult. Like I said, the cast on, doing it from the front is a little bit fiddly for the first couple of rounds. And then you just go. It's no problem. That's a free pattern you can find anywhere online. If you want to knit knitted knockers, which I didn't actually say, they are knitted prosthesis for people who've had mastectomies. They have to be knit. I don't know if they have a crochet version. I think they might. They have to be made in specific yarns, and they have a list on their website as for approved yarns to make sure that they are appropriate for sensitive skin after surgery. So if you're looking for a volunteer project, that's a fun one. Sorry, distracted. I just saw we have a hummingbird that feeds different plants, and I just saw him him, her, going that away. Okay. Gonna have just a little chat. Dream knitting summer plans. The first summer plan is to slow down a little bit. I have some yarn to work on a design that is for an advent, so it will be super secret. You will not see it until December. That's going to be slow burn cooking in the background in July. But other than that, I have no plans for designs going forward for a little bit. I just need a little break. I feel a little overwhelmed. It's my own fault. Completely my own fault. I get these ideas and get the yarn and I just go, and I love the process so much, but I'm just feeling a little weary in my brain. So this summer, Tour de Fleece is coming up in July, so I will be spinning a lot. Tour de Fleece is that travels along with the Tour de France. It is a spinning yarn fiber event that happens online. You can join teams and there's challenges. I don't really belong to any team. I'm open to suggestions if you know of something that's super casual and relaxed. I usually join the Electric Eel Wheel group on Facebook because they I usually spin quite a lot on my e-spinners from Dreaming Robots. I also joined the Facebook group for Good Vibrations in St. John. Liz is the proprietor there, and she taught me how to spin back in 2019. So she has a super low-key group where everybody shares what they're up to. Yeah, but if you have, or you know, or have done Tour de Fleece before and have a fun group that I should join, let me know, because I'm up for that. So spinning, it's going to be a spinning heavy for July for sure. We'll see how far we go. I've kind of already started already. I hadn't spun for quite a while with the pattern launch and the yarn festival and everything that's been going on. But so spinning, I have a couple of more garments to knit for Sam. One of them is the Salty Days by Veronica Lindberg in like a charcoal gray black. Sadness Lena, it's the DK version. And another vest top by Lily Kate France, Calm Night vest tank. I can't remember what she calls it. I can't find all of my yarn. I had put aside yarn for this for Sam. I can only find 2 balls of the Sadness Yarn Tin Lena in a nice green that I bought at Legacy Lane in February. I can't find the other 2 balls. I had them all together in a basket. I surely didn't think I was going to knit her a vest in 100 grams of yarn, because I can't. So that definitely means the Salty Days is coming up on the list. Unless when I get into my craft room and clean, probably on Wednesday. I have a day off on Wednesday. I got to get in there. It's a disaster. I've come home from events and just thrown everything on a pile on the floor, and my spinning wheel lives in there. I'm trying to get my winter sweaters washed and dried and away into winter storage. So I've got various piles of sweaters that are washed and aren't washed. And it's just an absolute disaster in there, and I can't find anything, and I'm ready for a full reno in there. I currently have a twin size bed in there because we use it for a spare room sometimes. I am thinking I want to get rid of that bed and get some kind of pull-out couch or a fold-out couch so I can sit in there and keep some of my knitting mess out of the living room and have a little more quiet time so Brad can watch what he wants to watch without having me complain that it's too loud. Yeah, so my craft room may be getting a full renovation, but for right now it just needs a flippin' tidy up. And hopefully try to find places for all the yarn that I bought lately. Other plans, I really want to do more embroidery. If you were around this past winter, I had worked on some embroidery projects and really, really enjoyed them. I've seen a couple, I'll put a picture in here. I saw a free pattern on Love Crafts for like a mason jar full of wildflowers, and I'd like to do that one for Sam for her birthday coming up in August, or I'd tuck it away for Christmas, whatever. And I've got cross stitch projects. I brought one out that I had showed you over the winter when I was working on it. I'm really feeling the itch to get back to that. So it's this Knitter's Sampler that I've been working on. And again, I haven't touched this probably since March, because then we got into Boobles and Knit City, and here we are. So I don't have much left to do on this one. I'd really love to finish it and then put it in a little frame to display. My thought was that I was going to cross stitch 4 of these all together and give them out as gifts at Christmas to some of my friends. I don't know how realistic that is. I don't know how realistic that is. We'll see how I feel about it this summer. I stitch in hand, which is why it's kind of rolled up. So I kind of roll it up and then I use the sewn method. It's what I've always done. I've never really used a hoop. Yeah. So I have a few cross stitch whips that I would like to finish off. I've got some seasonal ones that I finished the winter one that I showed back, and then I never ever framed it to display it. So I just want to be a little more multi-craftual and be a little less hyper-focused on my knitting. I will always knit. Don't worry, or as they say locally, worry pa. Yeah, I will always be knitting or crafting with yarn. I've got to make my advent calendars as well. I've got my scrappy advent calendars I need to build. So when I get my craft room back from the disastrousness, I need to make my advent from my scraps. Chatty and rambly, guys. Sorry about that. So yeah, stitching, spinning, finishing some stitching work so I can display them properly. Like I said, there will always be knits and socks and stuff happening, but no designs planned right now. So next in my list of things was to talk to you about spinning. I have finished, excuse my reach. I'm getting further down into this basket. If you remember, last time I showed you spinning, I was working on this Sweet Georgia. It's the Panda blend. And I got it plied up. So this was a really fun spin. When I first started it, I found it very slick and fast with the silk and the bamboo. Superwash Merino bamboo nylon. So 40%, 30% bamboo, 10% nylon. I think I'm going to knit myself a pair of socks out of this. This actually, this might be going high up on my list. I think it'd be fun to do a textured sock in this hand spun. Rosy pinks and a few beigey kind of spots. Goodness, the color is looking terrible on my screen. I really hope it's looking better. I really hope it's looking better when I edit it back, because I may have to do this all over again tomorrow. So this is a 3-ply. I did 3 2-ounce. I did 3 bobbins on my little nano e-spinner, and then I 3-plied it on my big nano, or not my nano, my big Eel Wheel 6.0 from Dreaming Robots. So let me put that over there. I put on my wheel, my little, actually I was going to say I put on my little nano, because normally I spin all of my singles on my nano. I decided to mix it up a little bit last night, and I had some of this Wool of the Andes Fibre unspun roving to spin. I think I spun some of it to sample. I can't remember if I used any of it or if I just spun it up as a sample, but it's super fun. It's called Fjord Heather. It's got grays and turquoises, lighter and darker shades. Really pretty. So I'll put a picture in here of what it looks like so far on my wheel. I'm spinning it end to end on one bobbin, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on my ball winder, cake it up on my ball winder, and then I will ply it using the inside and the outside strand of that cake. It can get a little tangly. I may try my button. I may try my button method on that. If you're unsure what I mean, I have a tutorial on YouTube where you use a button and put two strands, the inside strand and the outside strand from your yarn cake, through a button, and it helps control the twist and prevent tangles. Because I do find when I ply this way from a ball or a cake of yarn, it can get a little tangly with the twist, and one coming out faster than the other, feeding through faster than the other. But I haven't done that technique for a while. Something flying in front of my face, and I thought it would be, again, just fun to do something different instead of my traditional 3-ply, which is what I tend to favor. The 2-ply, I'm trying to spin it just a smidge thicker. It's automatically coming up a little bit thicker, I think. I find the first 10 minutes spinning a new fiber are always, I'm testing the length of the staple, and I know I should do a sample, but I don't. It's just not what I do. Yeah, so I was just spinning away last night. No, I didn't get it. It's still in front of me somewhere. It's a teeny tiny little bug. So that's it for spinning. Next time I come to talk to you, Tour de Fleece will either already have started or be starting soon. So I want to pull a whole bunch of fiber from my stash and kind of just make some goals and decide what I want to do this year, which fibers I want to spin with, and how I want to do it. And what I'd also like to do maybe during Tour de Fleece is knit with my hand spun more. I will knit a pair of socks any day of the week, and I will put it in cowls. I've got enough for a couple of garments that I've spun, and I'm chicken. I don't know what's stopping me from casting on bigger projects with my hand spun, but I just need to break the bubble and do it. So maybe that could be something I could think about doing in July as well. Got the fiber that I spun for my birthday last year. I'll see if I can find a picture. It was a yellow purpley blend, and I've got 3 quite large skeins of that, and I was thinking it'd be kind of a fun cardigan. I don't know, it could be a crazy color. If it's crazy, I'll just wear it around the house, but I think it would be fun to knit a cardigan in that. The wheels are turning. As I said, I'm feeling inspired to do different things with my brain and my hands, and so I can come back and do the socks and the, my more traditional stuff. But hopefully I'll have some different things to show you over the next couple of months, and that'd be kind of fun. All right. Design chat is going to be short and sweet, just as these socks are. What a segue. My rosé is doing its job. So I had posted a short video on Friday the 13th, I do believe, with the launch of my Frosé shorties. Thank you so much for your response to this pattern. I've had so many amazing messages and purchases. So today is Saturday, June 21st. The fundraiser is going to end on June 24th. I'm donating all the proceeds, so $5 from each pattern, to Vestiaire Shediac, which is a food and clothing bank to help families in need in Shediac, where we held the Atlantic Yarn Fiber Festival last weekend. This pattern launched in collaboration with Megan from Lichen and Lace, because I love this main color is Sweet Pea. I probably said this last time, my nickname for Sam is Sweet Pea, and I always loved this yarn. So, and the contrast color is Bouquet. So this pattern is knit toe up with a super intuitive fun. I'm going to keep this short, I promise, because if you watch the little intro video, you've already heard this. I'm going to keep it super short. Little lace and cable detail. It's a 4-round repeat. Every second row is plain knitting. I have tester Heather, a Wheelhouse Knit. She has knit all 29 of my patterns and says this is her favorite. Leanne Sit Knit Read, I think I got it right, Leanne, has knit 28 of my patterns and she says it is her favorite. So that is high praise from my knitting friends who are my testers. So it's got this fun little ruffled bind off just to make it super cute with a twisted rib. And I'm going to stop talking about this now, but thank you so much. I was about to say, I think we're around the $1,600 mark for the donation, which again, you guys knock it out of the park every single time. And I so appreciate your support with all of my crazy ideas. This was 4 weeks from came to my brain to release. I do it to myself. I only have one of them now. Megan from Lichen Lace has the other one. She displayed both of them last weekend at the festival, and she is going to keep one to use as a booth sample when you see her out and about in places. So I will have her linked below if you're interested in her yarn. It is 80/20 sock base. I didn't bring my ball band with me, but it's a nice plump 80/20 base. That's it for Design Chat. Let's do the giftaway winner for this time. So as I said, it's Saturday, and I said I wasn't going to close the draw until Sunday, June 22nd at 8 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time, and I'm not. So I don't know who's won yet. I will do the draw tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and I will put a picture in right here of the winner. So just as a reminder, congratulations, winner. This is some bits and bobs I've picked up. This is a Pine and Pearl canvas project bag. Beautiful yarn from Ginger Snap. This is the Sakura Fubuki, I do believe. And I said peach blossom last time. Of course I meant cherry blossom, but my mouth and my brain weren't connected briefly. So it's beautiful pink with gold and yellow flecks and the hot pink. Stunning yarn. And a really fun Notions pouch, again from my friend Leanne. And it's all kitted out there. Scissors, measuring tape, stitch markers, darning needle, it's all in here. So you just throw this in your project bag and you're good to go. So this was the prize. You are the winner. Please send me an email at the address linked below. And with all of my giveaways, I'm happy to send this worldwide. I don't think I said that last time, but I'm going to say it again because we have another giftaway. This was for my 50 episodes, which happened back in May, and I didn't acknowledge it because I didn't realize it. And this is my third anniversary of podcasting, of being here on YouTube. And oh, I have so much fun. I was feeling a bit, I have to be honest, I was feeling a bit blah about coming because it's been a long day already. They're chatty back there, eh? I hope you can hear them. Or maybe I hope you can't hear them. I love coming to have a chat. And as soon as I got going and got the technical crap over with, the lighting and my basket and my notes, and I was like, yay, I get to sit down and talk about my knitting. Because Brad is tired of hearing about it, and I don't have knit night until Tuesday. And Amanda, who I work with, and we talk about knitting, she's on vacation, so I haven't talked to many people about knitting lately. So here is the giftaway for this episode. The yarn is going to be, it's already yarn jerkied. This was from a giftaway that nobody claimed. So this is Sock Marl from Deborah at Yarn Indulgences. Really pretty yellows and pinks and, soft, buttery, anyway. It's got brighter pinks and softer pinks. Well, hello. I know. All right. You're gone now? You done? They have flown off. yeah, so I got this sock marl that's already yarn jerkied and ready to go in the mail. I got some stitch markers and bits and pieces and stuff that I'll put in there as well. I also picked up at Atlantic Yarn Fibre Festival last week. This is an acquisition, but not really, because it's not staying with me. Sorry, I had an ant crawling up my leg. Ew. This is the thing with being outside. Even in the screen room, I do get some wildlife in here, and we get chattery interruptions in the back. This is a bag from Michelle at Maple Moose Fibers. This is so stinking cute. It's just a little sock-sized bag. It's perfect for a cake of yarn. It's got a little box bottom on there. And really cute carry handle. So this, the yarn, and some various goodies that I will unearth in my yarn room that are intended for giveaways. I try to pick up stuff at fairs, festivals, and events so that I have something, that I have something to send to you guys when the need arises. And I think 3 years of being here, and I know there's a lot of you out there who've been here since the beginning, and I thank you so much. I recognize your names every time you leave a comment, and it's so appreciated. Yeah. I don't want to go off on a emotional tangent as I have done before, so Giftaway now. Oh, I didn't think about this. Today is the 22nd, so I will be back to record in 3 weeks. 27th, you can see, can you feel the, it's going to be, oh, that's my wedding anniversary weekend. So July 13th or 14th. So middle of July, I will be back. Might not be that Sunday, might be the Monday or the Tuesday. So mid-July, I'll give you a heads up on Instagram. If I remember, I'll do a community post here when I'm wrapping it up. Leave me a comment and tell me, I really should have thought about this. Just say July. June worked really well. June worked really well. Tell me what your plans are in July. Tell me if you're going to be spinning in July. Tell me where you're going on vacation in July. Tell me how cold it is where you are in July, or hot. Just a comment using July so I can use the search word and do the random comment picker through YouTube. And as I mentioned earlier, I will send this worldwide. No worries there. Yeah. Okay. Let's get on to the rest of my acquisitions. This pile beside me is getting rather large. So things I picked up at Atlantic Yarn Fibre. First, I should show you what I'm wearing. I had placed an order with Jeanette Walker Jewelry for this ring in February at Sussex, and we were going to meet up at Fiddlehead Fibre Festival in April, but Jeanette was unable to attend, so I picked it up at in Shediac. So this beautiful, I think it's called Bubbles. I will have her website linked below. And I also got, I'm going to get nice and, well, maybe I'll just take them out. Oh, where am I? Oh, there, yeah. Oh, no face. They are little yarn balls, or big yarn balls. She's got a new line called Yarn Barf. Oh, so clever. I reached out to her and asked if she could do me a pendant with this same little yarn ball on it. So I picked those up. And then at Mabel and Rose, I'm going to show you it on. So Mabel and Rose is a maker from Nova Scotia who she rescues jewelry from thrift stores and remakes it into fun things. Not necessarily knitting themed things, but she did have quite a few knitting themed things at the show last weekend. So how can I show you this? I'm just going to take off my other bracelet so you can see it. So this double is a bracelet that I got from her, and it's a measuring bracelet. So it's got 2 clasps on it, and the beads are 1 inch apart. So you unclip the side that's got the bead on it. It's attached on the other end, but then you can measure with these beads. How clever is that? Manon from La Violette Knit had picked one up, and then you just wrap it around and clip it back on to the clasp. Manon bought one and was showing us, and I'm like, I'm going back. I had already been at their booth and bought a couple of things. I had to go back and buy this because I thought it was brilliant. She'll be linked below. Yeah, and really reasonable. It was $20, which I thought was incredibly reasonable for genius. Brilliant. I have my leather ruler bracelet, which don't think I've ever used. I said I will probably never ever measure with it, but A, it's pretty, and B, it is useful if I am desperate. I just thought it was clever, and I wanted it, so I got it. And Alona very kindly, so this is her card, Mabel and Rose. Cover your face. So this was a very kind gift from her. It's from her Pre-Loved collection. So as I said, she rescues jewelry from thrift stores and then remakes it. This is breast cancer themed, the breast cancer ribbons, and she said she didn't feel right to remake it, and she thought I would be able to use them. So I'm going to put these away somewhere safe, and they will be used next year for the breast cancer fundraiser in April for the boob themed, tits themed, whatever sock I come up with next spring. So these will be going out to somebody as a thank you. So very kind. Thank you, Alona. Alona was sharing a booth, so Mabel and Rose was sharing a booth with Yellow Petal Handmade, who is Penelope. And I have a thing. How many of her bags? I have 2 of her bags out here. A lot of us have a thing for Penelope's bags because her fabric choices are just amazing. The periwinkle blue on this, it just had me. So Yellow Petal Handmade. I will have her linked below. Just a beautiful, with the pockets in the main fabric down there, and just a nice white box bottom. It's just, I couldn't leave it behind. Couldn't leave it behind. So that came home with me. And then the only other thing that I bought at Atlantic Yarn Fibre Festival was this Leo and Roxy yarn. It is a sock set. Not real. I thought about this afterwards. I don't know what drew me to this. I think, again, it's that acidy green in the main color. This isn't my usual vibe. It's kind of Halloween. It's called Zombie. I'm not a Halloween fan at all. But it is a sock set. Here are the details. So Jolene came all the way from Ontario to attend our festival, and she flew out. Her yarn was driven out by a friend, and then the friend and her drove back to Southern Ontario. And the Atlantic knitters were pretty excited to see Leo and Roxy in person, because that's not something we ever see out here. So I wanted to support Jolene, and like I said, this sock set is so not me, but it spoke to me. So it came home with me. that's all I bought. It was a busy day, and it was a very people-y day, and I was kind of focused on the people and making sure everything was smooth, and I just didn't have the bandwidth for a lot of shopping per se, but I did want, it's hard. I wanted to support all of the makers, and I will do that by listing. I have a little video at the end. I took some footage at the end. I will include that footage and I will link them down below. If I missed getting footage of anybody, I will link their shops anyway. So if you're interested in checking out any maritime makers, then they will be listed below. The last thing that is hanging out in the bottom of my basket, I got some amazing Happy Mail from Kelly and Nick at Lay Family Yarns. I am designing, and will be knitting, their sock pattern for their Advent Yarn Club that will be releasing in December. I was thrilled to be asked. I have a name. I have design thoughts swirling around in my head that I will have to get out soon. I just need a little brain space to make sure everything's what I just want a little space between now and putting that design on the needles. But the yarn is here. I'll be working on that soon. You will not see it until December. But so that the yarn didn't feel lonely on the way over, Kelly included some extras for me. And I could not be more chuffed, as my English self would have said back in the day. They have just started dyeing self-striping yarn. So this is Lay Family Yarns. This is the Beach Hut colorway. It is a 50-gram main skein and a 20-gram speckled mini. If you watched the Woolen Wishes podcast this week, they just posted a new episode, and Tracy had a pair of shorties knit in exactly this yarn with the gorgeous summery fun stripes and the speckles. So check out Lay Family Yarn. They tend to sell out of these self-stripers pretty quickly. It's a 50-gram and a 20-gram, so guess what? I'll be knitting them toe up to make sure I don't run out of yarn. I didn't know what I was delighted with more, the Advent yarn, this, or, wait for it, this. I opened this box, and if you've been around for a while, you know my passion for a sock blank. I love a sock blank. Oh, maybe this is going on my needles tonight. I don't have to wind it. I could just start. Well, I have to wind the minis. She included 3 minis that just. Oh, hang on. I'll get the blank out in a second to see all the colors. It's a single sock blank, so I can knit the socks 2 at a time. You can also get sock blanks that are double, so you can knit your socks 2 at a time. They are stranded. They have 2 strands in there. So I love sock blanks. I love the alchemy of knitting from this fabric and seeing how it translates into the knitted fabric that I'm knitting in the socks or the shawl or whatever. But this is going to be socks with those minis. Oh my word. I talked to Kelly instantly. Oh, maybe not instantly, because it might have been too late by the time I got to the mailbox. I was gobsmacked by that. These extras that came along. It was unexpected and it was delightful, and they've absolutely made me so happy, and I cannot wait. I don't know. Now I just want to cast on everything. I want to fix that hat. rip that hat back. I want to start knitting with that green yarn. I want to start knitting this, and I want to wind up the stripy, the Beach Hut Lay Family Yarns yarn. Oh, and I just dropped it. So I will have Nick and Kelly and Megan, their daughter Megan works with them now. I will have their shop linked below, and thank you, thank you. All right, my notes have gotten buried in my enthusiasm over my acquisitions. I also have, just a reminder, Turtle Pearl Yarns. Emily from Turtle Pearl Yarns very kindly gave us a code for 15% off in her shop. I will put it on the screen below here. If you'd like to take advantage of that, I will have her website linked below, as well as the coupon code for 15% off for beautiful self-striping yarn local to me in New Brunswick. The last thing I was going to talk about was the Fibre Festival, which I've kind of talked about all the way through. It was amazing. The feedback from the vendors and the participants, for people attending, everybody loved it. It was a very sunny, warm Father's Day, and we were extremely worried that nobody was going to come, because I was extremely worried that nobody was going to come but our friends. But the knitters showed up and had a great time, and we are so grateful to everybody who came. Thank you. I can confirm we will be doing it again next year. I will give you the dates very soon on that, so we can do a save the date. I have it written down, but I just want to double check with we haven't had our debrief yet. There are 4 of us organizing this. It is my friend Deborah from Yarn Indulgences, Manon from La Violette Knits, and Sophie from Cozy Meadow Knits. Yeah, it was an amazing day. Everything couldn't have gone smoother. Our husbands, there were 4 husbands who helped the vendors bring in all of their things. They helped us tape off the spaces for the booths and set everything up. The husbands deserved a gold medal for doing that on Father's Day. We truly appreciated their help, and so did the vendors for moving all of their stuff for them. Great day. Can't wait to do it again. Bigger and better next year in Shediac in June for Atlantic Yarn Fibre Festival. Okay, my little extra screen that I'm using is telling me that it's running out of battery, which means I've been talking for way too long. So I am going to pack up, get into my comfy clothes, come back out here to the screen room, and watch a podcast or 2 and knit something that is going to make me very happy. I don't know which one it is yet. We'll have to wait and see. Happy knitting, my friends. Happy sipping, and I will see you in the middle of July in 3 weeks. Cheers.